Alright guys, so I'll try to look at the camera more. The last video I was looking over the place, so we'll try to keep concentrated. Although behind me you can see, I don't know if you can see or not, there's a helicopter taking off. You can see it over there maybe. I can't really see it. I got a glare on my windshield, or on my camera I mean. Anyways, that's the hospital over there. That's the ER where I was at. So, yeah. Let me wait till he gets out of here, then we'll continue this video. So he's gone. So anyways, we're still over here at Paracel, or how you say it, Texas, at that Petro. We didn't get a load, which I wasn't expecting to get a load. There's 100 and some trucks ahead of me, 105 or something like that right now. Or there was this morning when I went on board. I'm not sure how many of them got loads, but obviously I can get one, and hopefully we'll get one tomorrow and be out of here. In the meantime, on a repower we had, repowers, man, I don't know, me and repowers don't get along. I got shorted them edge protectors, I got shorted them rubber mats, and then I got a crappy tarp, and I'm not even sure how this tarp's even in service. It's not super bad, but I'm gonna patch it, I guess, because I need a good tarp. It just seems like every time I spend time patching it, my black tarp, I just patched it 2 weeks ago. I spent 2 hours patching it and gave it away in this repower. So, I don't know. I'll share what we're working with. It ain't a lot, but I'll see what we got. This is the black tarp that I got in my repower, and there's 2 main spots that's bad on it. I'm gonna share them 2 spots. I got a bunch of spots like this that need patched. I just don't know if I'm gonna have time to do it. I got small holes like that. I don't know if I'm gonna really worry about them right now. Got a small hole there. Got a hole here. Got a hole there. Never small holes, that's what you expect, but then I got this thing, and I'm not even sure how this happened. This is a rip that runs the whole length of this thing, the whole way down here, the whole way across here, the whole way down here, and almost to the end, over there. So it runs from that buckle there, whole way across to that buckle there. That's one of the bad spots I gotta fix. Besides all those small ones, I'm not sure I'm gonna mess with them small ones. Got another one there. There's a patch there. Got a big one there. Got a bunch there. This is the bad one here. Someone patched it, but the patch came off. And this hole is humongous. Look at the size of that thing. And you have to have my head and shoulders through that. That is big. So, I gotta patch that. That's the one I want to work on. Try to get that one patched. Got one here that's coming off. I don't know, this tarp's pretty bad. So I'm losing daylight, so I'm gonna start patching. We'll see what happens. So I really don't expect this to work. I got this stuff here. I pick it up at the Dollar General, but I'm out of it right now. I didn't realize I was out of it. I filled it back up. There's very little in there. Also got some window cleaner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to reuse this patch. I went through and I tried to clean it up as much as possible. Still looks nasty, but I got a lot of dirt off. It still looks really dirty. I'm gonna try to clean it some more. So I'll let you know what I'm gonna do, then we'll try it and see what happens. So I'm gonna take what's left of this in here, which isn't a lot. I'm gonna try to get the rest of that gunk cleaned off, right? Because that's a pretty good cleaner there. Clean this up as much as I can, and I'm just gonna try to glue this patch back on. And I got it kind of laying down. I can glue it back on like that. And maybe we can just reuse this patch, make it happen. So that's my plan. So I'm gonna go take some of this out, dump it on here, and get this as clean as possible, because if it's dirty, it ain't obviously gonna stick. But let me do that, I'll glue it, and we'll see what happens. So we're losing daylight. Well, not really too bad, but the sun's definitely down, and I'm gonna see if this will show up for you. This actually held, I'm surprised, as dirty as it was, I put a bunch of glue on it, it's actually holding up pretty good. It's actually, I'd say 90%. There's a small one right there and a small one right there, but the rest of it is stinking pretty good. I'm surprised that worked. That was nasty dirty, and the dirt really didn't really come off that good, but I cleaned up as good as I could and put some glue on there, and it's holding. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to hold, but it's holding right now. So that is awesome. I did not think that was going to work. That was nasty dirty, but that's awesome actually. So we're going to call that a success after what I started with. That was a shot in the dark, and that actually worked out. So there's a full shot of the full patch. Man, I'm surprised that actually held, but it's holding pretty good. We're going to let it completely cure though. We're going to let it sit out here for about another 45 minutes. Come over here, I cut a blue patch over here. This is a hole about the size of a golf ball. I cleaned this up really good, so obviously this is good. So that one's good. And then over here, this one's not doing too good. This was a patch that was already on there, and I tried to clean it up, and it did not clean up very good. It's holding in the center up through here. You got the side here does not want to hold at all, and then the side over here doesn't want to hold, but it's holding in the center. So it's about 75-80% holding. I don't know if I can fix that. I can pull it down and it starts to stick, but then it pops back up. And then over here, same thing. You can push it down and kind of get it to stick a little bit, and it ends up popping back up. But as bad as that was, I mean, it's better. That was about the size of maybe not the size of a baseball, just slightly smaller. What about the size of that patch? You can see the size of that patch. Maybe a golf ball. And I would say that's 90% glued up. So I'm going to call all three of those a success. That big one there, that big one was the one that had me worried. So what we're going to do now is the other big one was down here. This cut that goes the whole way across here. I'm just going to cut a small patch and patch that piece up to that line, and cut a bigger piece that goes up to that line, and then a third piece that goes from that line to that line. They're pretty big pieces, but that's about the only way I know to do it. We might try cutting them in half or whatever, but that's what I'm going to tackle next. Try to get that one done. If I can get that one glued up and holding, which I should be able to clean it up and use my blue patches, I'm going to call this a success. Stuff like this, I'm not going to get too worried about because it's starting to get dark and I really don't have time to get them in. Once it gets dark, there's no lights around here. I won't be able to see what I'm doing anyways. So yeah, I'm going to go work on that one over there, see if I can get that patched up. And I should patch this one though. That's a decent one there. And I could spend all day. I could spend a good 2 hours on this tarp. Here's another. That one needs patched. Man, there's this every time I stand up, I just find more holes and more holes. There's two right there. Oh man, there's this one here. Oh man, I can't patch them all. I can't patch them all. Let me get work on these ones for a minute. So it is completely dark out now. It's actually showing up pretty good on the camera, surprisingly enough. But I parked under a light. I didn't realize I parked under a light. So it's actually pretty light back here, but I'm up in the front. Still pretty light. It's showing up pretty good on camera. So I think I'm done. Let's see what we got here. So this is the big part, the patch. You're probably not going to see that at all. That's the one I peeled back and cleaned, and I didn't think it was going to stick, and it stuck. So we got that one. That one's done. And I showed you this one before. That's one of the ones I put on. That one's done. So I said I was going to work on these ones up here, but I decided to change my mind on this. I got one on here, up here on this. It's holding good. I didn't do the rest of it, and you can't really tell, but the cut goes along here, the way down to there. And the reason I decided not to do them was 90% of the time, 95% of the time, that's going to be underneath another tarp. That's going to be covered. On top of that, it's on a D-ring right here. So I imagine any kind of pressure pulling with a D-ring is going to rip that off anyways. So instead of wasting my time on an end that's most likely going to be covered, 95% of the time, I figured I'd do the inside ones that weren't going to be covered, or less likely to be covered. So I came over here. Here's one, a small one I fixed, and then there's another small one I fixed there. And then over here, this one I was having all sorts of trouble with. it wouldn't stick to save its life, and it's not really sticking now either. I cleaned it up. I thought I cleaned it up pretty good, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to stick. I don't know. So I'm going to work with this for a little bit. I don't know. We'll see what happens out of that. Let's see. There's a couple big ones around here somewhere. I got to find them now in the night. Here's one. This was a decent sized one that I put a patch on. This one's holding up good. So that's one. And then right over here, here's one that put a decent sized patch on it. This one's holding up good. And then there's one more. Where's the other one at? I don't know. I gotta find it. I know there's one more that I did a patch on. Let me see. Probably covered under this box or something. Well, maybe not. I don't know. I guess that's about it. But I got most of the middle ones done. It had big holes in them. And that big one there, that was the big one. And then that one down there. So I'm gonna call this done. Try to get over here in the light where you can see actually see my face, because it is dark out. So the tarp's behind me there. I'm gonna let it set for about 45 minutes, make sure that glue is nice and dry before I roll it up, because it would really suck to roll it up and that glue not be dry, and then it just glues itself to the other side of the tarp. And when you roll it out, it's ripped all the patches off. Or it glues itself together and you can't unglue it all together. You can't unroll it all together, it's just glued together. So I've been out here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think I came out about 5:30, something like that. I don't know what time it is. It don't get dark down here till about 6. It's been dark for about 30 minutes, 40. I'm saying it's probably 6:30, 6:45 in the evening. So I hate the bitch. I don't want to go into a little rant, but I want to go into a little rant, because it seems like every time I do a repower, I get screwed over on tarps. It's like, am I the only one patching them? Because it was just 3 weeks ago. I think it was the Thanksgiving, when I was home for Thanksgiving, I think is when it was, or the week, or the right around Thanksgiving. I pulled my tarps out and patched them all up because I knew there was going to be repowers, and I didn't want to give someone bad tarps, and I got a repower, and he gave me good tarps. I mean, he gave me 2 blue tarps. I mean, I guess they're good. I haven't actually pulled them out and used them yet. Yeah, I don't think I've used the blue ones yet. I might have. I don't remember. I don't remember what I ran. I might have used them, but I don't remember them being bad. And the black tarp I had patched it a couple weeks ago. Like a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, not a couple weeks ago. And it was a good, I liked that tarp. That tarp was a really good tarp, and I lost it in this repower. Then I got this one. Man, it just seems like, no one else patches tarps? I know people do, they have to be. But it seems like every repower I get, I gotta repatch tarps. It sucks because I just spent an hour and a half, 2 hours patching these ones, and probably 2 weeks I'll get a repower, give this tarp up, it'll be all patched up, good to go. And I'll get something that needs patched again. I don't know, I hate complaining, but it's easy to complain sometimes. Anyways, that's what we got. Not a very interesting video, but like I said, we're still here in Paris, however you say it, Parisau, Texas, at that Petro. Like I said, I just came back on board today. We sat all day waiting for a load. If I'd have known I'd been sitting all day, I'd have pulled this out this afternoon at 12 o'clock. But I didn't want to pull it out and start doing this and then get a load saying, oh, you got to be in Houston, you got to be here at 12 o'clock, and then have to try to roll this up while it's still wet. So once I realized I wasn't getting a load, about 4:30 I got something to eat, and then pulled this out and started patching everything up and getting it at least usable. I mean, I didn't get all the holes, obviously. You never do, because as you know, it's just, you'd be there. I'd have to be there. I'd have to have 6-7 hours, 5-6-7 hours to get all the holes. It just takes time to do it. And I spent 2 hours and got the majority of them, the major ones, and that's really what I wanted to do, just get the major ones, and we should be good to go. So I'm gonna get this thing, I'll let this tarp set for about 45 minutes, an hour, make sure it's all nice and dry. Flip it over, roll it up, put it away, and that'll be it. So thanks for watching. Again, I appreciate everybody that takes time to watch these videos, everybody that takes time to put a comment, likes, all that stuff. The like button really helps. Hit that like button. If you're watching the video, just click the like button. It really helps. It helps a lot. So thanks for that. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.